All right, welcome everyone. We're excited to be presenting to you. Today we'll be talking about Zype Playout and how Zype helped Vevo, the world's largest all-premium music video provider, bring music videos back into the living room and build and launch linear music video channels at scale. Before we get started with the presentation, let's do a couple of quick speaker intros. So I'll start. I'm Chris Smith, SVP of Product at Zype. I've had a really close hand at building and launching Zype's Playout solution, as well as supporting integration with customers like Vevo using Playout to power their linear streaming experiences. And Adam?
Hi, Chris. I'm Adam Butler, Director of Brand Insight and Measurement here at Vevo, and I've been working closely with Chris and my colleagues at Vevo to build some linear Playout channels.
Awesome. So for today's presentation, we'll be covering a few things. So first, we're going to provide an overview of Zype's Playout solution, touching on key features and capabilities. We'll also go into our platform to showcase a quick demo of how customers build and publish Playout channels in Zype. Next, we'll go into Vevo Everywhere and how Vevo is leveraging Playout. And lastly, we're going to touch on a couple of early outcomes and results from Vevo launching Playout linear solutions and Zype's outcomes as well. Cool. So let's dive a bit into Zype Playout. So for some background, we launched Zype Playout to help customers build, publish, and distribute IP-based virtual linear live streams. This complements Zype's existing capabilities around video infrastructure, content management, and APIs that support more traditional VOD, live, and linear distribution. Now, with virtual linear live programming, we see a significant opportunity for customers to increase audience engagement, viewership reach, and in turn, really dial up revenue opportunities both around ads and paywalls. We see a really fast-growing ecosystem of free ad-supported streaming providers and vMVPDs that are wiring up user experiences and linear channel programming that enable content owners to connect to broader audiences with minimal technical investment. So in addition to providing the programming and publishing workflows, Zype Playout is also focused on helping content owners connect to these distribution partners more easily. Now, this slide provides an overview of Zype Playout from a content ingestion, programming, monetization, and publishing workflow. Customers can import video assets into Zype from a variety of sources. So starting on the left, customers get content into our platform, and once in Zype's video CMS, programming is a pretty simple process. Zype Playout leverages the same content curation and programming interfaces that customers use today for owned and operated publishing and distribution. Customers can leverage built-in ad management tools to generate standard SCUDdy35 markers, which are compatible with most major ad servers for server-side and dynamic ad insertion. And then at the end, Zype supports publishing to really any destination that accepts standards-based HLS or RTMP, which then helps power the end user streaming experiences. So to reiterate, Zype Playout covers the full broadcast lifecycle from content ingestion, programming, ad management, to distribution to owned and operated social and virtual MVPD endpoints. The Zype Video CMS offers best-in-class content import and programming capabilities. So we allow customers to import from a wide range of options for content ingestion. We automate playlist programming using categories and simple programming tools. And we support HLS and RTMP-based encoding for linear live Playout channels that are generally supported by most streaming partners. Within Zype Playout, Zype provides simple tools for customers to program and manage ad breaks within their linear channels, including ad slate management. And Zype handles the technical complexity around SCUDdy35 ad marker conversion, automatically generating ad markers within the linear streams, which are then used for server-side and dynamic ad insertion supported by most major ad servers. So to summarize, with Zype Playout, what we really want to do is empower customers to focus less on the technical complexities of scheduling, broadcasting, and distributing linear channels, so that instead they can focus more on making really good programming and monetization decisions, engaging with and reaching wider audiences, and expanding their distribution reach. So now that we've provided a pretty good overview of Zype Playout, let's take a couple minutes to go through a demo of the platform so we can showcase firsthand how customers program and build Playout channels using our tools. One of the awesome aspects of Zype is that we provide a single platform to manage distribution for VOD, live, linear, and Playout. So customers can leverage Zype's robust metadata management and curation workflows to automate curation of playlists used to program and build Playout channels. So the first step towards creating a Playout linear stream is to program a playlist of content in the order that you want to broadcast your channel. So if I go to our playlists, I've already gone ahead and pre-programmed a Playout channel playlist. So I'm going to go ahead and click into the videos for the space swimming Playout. And once it's loaded up here, you can see the videos that I've already put together in the sample playlist for today's demo. And one of the awesome things about Playout is you can program ad breaks into your Playout channel by selecting videos that are configured as Playout ads in your Zype library. So here you can see a couple of standard videos that I have just based on normal content. And then you can see the ad slate videos that I've pre-programmed. If I go into the specific video, so if I go ahead and go into the Playout demo ad slate, here you can see that I've just configured this video as a Playout ad. And what happens when you do that is when I add the Playout ad to this Playout channel, and when the Playout channel is broadcast from this playlist, Zype is going to automatically generate standard Scuddy 35 ad markers wherever we see ads programmed into the playlist. So let me go ahead and add one more ad to this. So I'm going to add the Playout demo ad slate. Okay, and you can see that I've added the ad slate to the end of this playlist. So now that I've finished programming my Playout source playlist, I'm ready to go ahead and build my Playout channel by visiting the Playout section of Zype. So you can go ahead and click over to the Playout section of Zype. And this is the main Playout dashboard. So here you can see all of the channels that you've already created that are currently broadcasting or have completed broadcasting in the past or scheduled for the future. So you can click into any of these active channels if you want to edit metadata or update the source playlist. And before we create a new Playout channel, let's first go ahead and check out our destinations. So Playout destinations are the endpoints where your Playout channels are being broadcast out to. Zype supports distribution really to any destination that accepts standards-based HLS or RTMP streaming protocols. So this means you have a really wide range of social platforms, vMVPDs, and owned and operated endpoints where your Playout channels can be distributed to. And here you can see my demo account. I've got a bunch of destinations that I've already pre-configured. Now, creating a new destination is really straightforward. So if you want to create a destination, you can select from one of our pre-built destination types or create a custom one from scratch. As you go through, you just provide some simple information regarding the endpoint configuration so that you can enable distributing to this endpoint within your Playout channels. And by default, Zype enables Playout channel streaming in our integrated web player, so you don't have to go ahead and create a destination for that. So now that we've got our destinations updated, let's go ahead and create a Playout channel. So I'll go back to the main Playout dashboard and click into create a channel. So the first thing you do is just specify some metadata. So let's call this our space swimming Playout channel. And you're going to need to set a future start date and time. So I'm going to go ahead and choose date and time. Let's pick 45. Now you can optionally set an end time if you want to. If you know that the broadcast will end at a specific future date, you can also choose whether you want to loop the channel or not. And typically a 24/7 linear channel will always be looped. So I'm going to go ahead and set looping to be on. So the next thing you do is select your source playlist for the Playout channel. So remember when we programmed that playlist before? Let me go ahead and choose that playlist here. So choose this space swimming playlist. Now, one of the really neat things that we do is Zype performs real-time validation against your playlist to ensure that it's going to build properly and provide a really optimized streaming experience for your viewers. So our validations include looking at the encoding settings for all of these source videos in your playlist so that we can ensure that you have an optimal rendition ladder that's presented for HLS-based streams. So I'm going to go ahead and save and continue. Awesome. So the next thing that we show you is what we call the program rundown. Think of the rundown as a preview of the scheduled start and end times for each of the assets, each of the videos in your Playout channel based on the scheduled start time of the channel itself. So here I can kind of preview what the expected Playout order is going to be for this Playout channel based on the source playlist that I selected. And in this next step, what we're going to do is select the streaming destination. So we present to our customers all of the destinations that they've configured in their Zype account. And you can see here at the bottom, we have Zype HLS Playout. I'm going to go ahead and just leave this selected for Zype since I'm planning to play the Playout channel in our web player. And lastly, we want to just review and confirm the Playout channel. So just looking over the details, I'm going to go ahead and look through and confirm that everything looks good. And I've just created that Playout channel. So if I want to, I can go ahead and go to the Zype library, and I've got the Playout channel kind of pre-selected here, but I can, in the Zype library, click on the preview player, and you can see the live Playout channel playing here. So I've got the live Playout channel here, and you can see this in the embedded player. And that's really it. I mean, it's super simple in our platform to create these linear live channels using the Zype Playout service. Awesome. So hopefully that was a helpful demo of the Zype Playout solution. And now our viewers have a better understanding of how to build and publish Playout channels using Zype. So I'll now hand things over to Adam to give us a bit more background on Vevo and the Vevo Everywhere initiatives and how that relates to Playout.
Great, thanks, Chris. So I'll start with a little bit about Vevo. So we were founded in 2009 as a joint venture between Sony Music and Universal Music, the two largest record label groups. 2009 was an era of the internet and music video shifting away from traditional linear channels like MTV and VH1 to primarily YouTube. At that time, there was no official home for music video on the internet. Users often had a poor experience when searching for music video. There would be multiple versions of the same song, and no one knew which was the correct official version of the music video that the artist wanted their fans to see. And Vevo was created to solve that problem. We acted as a mark of authenticity and a kind of custodian of this content category. We also had a responsibility to help break new artists with creating original content so that fans could learn about the latest artists coming onto their scene. And finally, monetization, helping the artists and the record labels effectively monetize this content, which was started out life as a promotional tool, but has now moved forward to become a vast media category in its own right. The next slide gives some details of just how big a content category this is. We reach about 1 billion people each month around the world via YouTube. We have 5 billion views of our content every single month, and it's available in over 55 territories around the world. The next slide kind of tells the story of our growth, our evolution, or the evolution of music video from 2012 to the present day. Back in 2012, you can see this chart shows the platform consumption, desktop, mobile, and TV. Back in 2012, desktop was by far and away the dominant source for viewing music video, with mobile making up the balance. Fast forward a couple of years, and you can see that mobile became the dominant form. And that kind of made sense. The content is short form, it's snackable, and makes the perfect fit with mobile smaller screen devices. But over the last couple of years, we started to notice this growth on TV. And today, TV makes up 100% of the growth that we are seeing. It is the fastest growing screen by a long distance. We, in fact, went from at the beginning of this year with 1 in 5 views of our content coming from TV. That's now 1 in 4. So it really is an explosive growth that we're seeing. And it got us thinking, is our content, is our offer to the consumer on that screen as optimal as it could be? So on the next slide, we'll be able to see that 70% of connected CTV viewers watch music video every month. People are using this screen not just for Netflix and long-form scripted content, they're also using it for the stuff that they at one time may have watched on YouTube. The next slide talks a little bit about the audience for this stuff. So we're reaching about 39 million people in the living room each month. That growth is 35% up year on year. And that screen now is 1 billion, about a fifth of our views come just from that screen. There is obviously a big difference, as I mentioned, with the TV screen to the mobile screen. It's naturally a lean-back device. It has much higher levels of engagement than on mobile. On mobile devices, people are consuming maybe 2 to 3 songs in a session, like I mentioned, snackable. But on TV, that's more like 5 to 8 songs. And playlists are extremely popular on TVs relative to other platforms, while search under-indexes. And that got us thinking, is the experience that we have at the moment on TV as good as it could be? And we thought, let's make some linear channels that I think combine all of those things of lean back viewing, curation, and taking away the effort from the consumer to search for the songs that they need. So that brought us to the Vevo Everywhere initiative. And on the next slide, you can see some of the partnerships that we've developed. So outside of YouTube, our content is available on all of the logos that you see on the screen there, whether it's in a VOD experience or a linear experience. And working with Zype is how we were able to create our lean back experience of Playout music video channels. I think we're going to move on now to talk about some of the outcomes that we've seen from those channels.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Adam. That was super insightful in terms of the background on Vevo Everywhere, and I think it'd be great if you could share a little bit on some of the early learnings and findings that you're seeing with your linear channel distribution.
Yeah, so we've launched 6 channels since December 2019. And it's been great to see the growth that we've witnessed since that time. Each week over week, we've noticed that viewing is increasing. In fact, last week was actually our biggest week of the year so far in terms of viewership. In the period since December, we've seen over 1.3 billion hours of our content streamed. We've served more than 170 million ad impressions. The integration that we were able to do with Zype and Freewheel has allowed us to have a kind of quasi-addressability to our audience. We're able to use some kind of broad targeting tactics to really deliver the ads in a tailored experience to the end user. And finally, we've also integrated an analytics API with our own data warehouse that allows us to get near real-time updates surfaced via our business intelligence tools and out to business users around Vevo. And they support with everything from royalty payments. We have to pay on a particularly difficult scale where we count views per video, and Zype was able to help with a solution to do that. We're able to look at content analytics. We can figure out which genres are performing well. And finally, we're able to create some great sales marketing collateral to help prove that these channels are popular, they're growing, and that our audiences and our advertising clients want to be there.
That's awesome. Super exciting to see the early, kind of growth results, and really look forward through the rest of this year and beyond to see where else linear channel programming takes Vevo. Cool. And on Zype side, we have been publishing Playout channels now for a good amount of time. I think we see Playout now, really serving customers at scale. I think Adam touched on some of the scale that Vevo individually is experiencing, but our Playout service is performing at scale, serving millions of viewers and hundreds of millions of ads on a routine basis. Our Playout service is supported now by major BMVPDs, and really including any standard space, HLS, or RTMP destination. We have ad integration supported now with most of the major ad servers, Freewheel, Google Ad Manager, SpotX, and powering it all, is a really fast performance CDN and infrastructure that's really focused around optimizing end viewer delivery. And Adam touched on this earlier. We also at the tail end know it's so important for customers to be able to drive insights around their content consumption and engagement with viewers. So we're providing a deep granular analytics service that can help these customers drive important business decisions and insights. Awesome. The last quick thing that we want to touch on today is just a quick showcase of Vevo's Playout solution. One of the kind of awesome things that Adam had touched on is being able to create these really engaging lean back experiences. I know firsthand, I've watched a good amount of music video content myself. So, this is just a good framing to showcase, how the Playout experience, that the linear programming experience is rendered on a connected TV device, as opposed to, kind of the mobile or desktop smaller screen experiences that Adam said, had been part of the consumption mix predominantly before. Cool. And with that, I think we just want to say thank you for tuning in on both Zype and Vevo's behalf. Hope you learned a little bit about Playout and, got inspired in terms of the story that Adam was able to share around Vevo Everywhere and Vevo's push into linear programming and distribution.
Thanks, everyone.